Hello everyone. Today let us start with a newer topic of CNS, sedatives and hypnotics. Okay, so here I just want you to clear about what is sedative and what is hypnotic. So sedative is a drug that subdues excitement, that is it reduces the excitement and calms down the subject without inducing sleep. Okay, so it does not produce sleep, but it reduces the excitement of the person. So though drowsiness may be produced, that is sleepiness may be produced. Okay, so sedation refers to decreased response to any level of stimulation. Okay, so the person will not respond to any stimulation, and it is associated with some decrease in motor activity and ideation, that is creation of your CNS activity. Okay, so hypnotic, it is a drug that induces and maintains the sleep similar to normal arousable sleep, that is it will produce a sleep which is a normal sleep, that is similar to normal sleep. So this is not to be confused with hypnosis. It means trance-like state in which the subject become passive and highly suggestible. Okay, so those with quicker onset, shorter duration and steeper dose response curves are preferred as hypnotics, while more slowly acting drugs with flatter dose response curve are employed as sedatives. Okay, so thus sedation, hypnosis and general anesthesia may be regarded as increasing grade of CNS depression. Okay, so sedation will be produced first, that is the excitement is reduced, then a normal sleep is produced, and then finally general anesthesia is produced. Okay, that is increasing grade of CNS depression. So hypnotics given at higher doses can produce general anesthesia. Okay, so next it comes to the classification of the sedative hypnotics. So the main classifications are barbiturates, benzodiazepines and newer non-benzodiazepine hypnotics. Okay, so barbiturates, it's again classified into long acting, short acting and ultra short acting. So long acting you can have phenobarbital, short acting butobarbital and pentobarbital, ultra short acting you can have thiopentone and methotrexate. Okay, so benzodiazepines you can classify as hypnotics, anti-anxiety and anticonvulsants. So hypnotics are diazepam, flurazepam, nitrazepam, alprazolam, temazepam and triazolam. Anti-anxiety, diazepam, chlordiazepoxide, oxazepam, lorazepam and alprazolam. Anticonvulsants, diazepam, lorazepam, clonazepam and clobazam. Okay, so newer non-benzodiazepine hypnotics you can have zopiclone, zolpidem and zeleplon. The next, barbiturates. So coming to pharmacological actions. So barbiturates are generally depressant for all excitable cells. The CNS is the most sensitive, where the effect is almost global, but certain areas are more susceptible. So coming to CNS action. So barbiturates produce a dose dependent effect. That is, in minimum dose it will produce sedation, and in the next increasing dose it will produce sleep, and next it will produce anesthesia, and finally if you increase the dose further it can lead to coma stage. So hypnotic doses shortens the time taken to fall asleep and increase sleep duration. So the sleep is arousable, but the subject may feel confused and unsteady if wakened earlier. So night awakening are reduced. So REM, which is called as rapid eye movement sleep, and non-REM it is that is called as non-rapid eye movement sleep. So these are all the stages of the sleep which you can refer in standard textbooks. Okay, so even in Tripadi book you can have this, what do you mean by REM and NREM. Okay, so the sleep is arousable, but the subject may feel confused and unsteady if wakened earlier. So night awakening are reduced, REM and the stages 3-4 sleep are decreased. So REM and NREM sleep cycle is disturbed. So the effects on the sleep becomes progressively less marked if the drug is taken every night consecutively. So a rebound increase in REM sleep. Rebound means again and again. If you take the drug, it will produce a rebound effect, and the nightmares are often noted when the drug is discontinued after a few nights of use of, and it takes several nights for normal pattern to be restored. So hangover symptoms you can observe, that is dizziness will be there, distortions of the mood alterations, irritation and lethargy will be there. Okay. So sedative dose given at a daytime can produce drowsiness, reduction in anxiety and excitability. However, they do not have selective anti-anxiety action. So barbiturates can impair learning, that is it will reduce the learning capacity, short-term memory and judgment. So they have also no analgesic action. Smaller doses may even cause hyperalgesia, that is increase in pain sensation. So euphoria, that is excitement, that is a state of pleasant feeling, it is called as euphoria, may be experienced by the addict persons. So barbiturates have an anticonvulsant property. So next is the mechanism of action. So barbiturates appear to act primarily at the GABA benzodiazepine receptor chloride channel complex. Okay, and this word is important, GABA benzodiazepine receptor chloride channel complex, and it potentiate GABAergic inhibition of increasing the lifetime of chloride ion channel opening produced by GABA. So in contrast, benzodiazepines, which enhances the frequency of chloride channel opening. They do not bind to the benzodiazepine receptor but bind to another site in the receptor on the same macromolecular complex to exert GABA facilitatory action. So the barbiturate site appears to be located on the alpha or beta subunit because the presence of only, they do not bind to the benzodiazepine receptor but bind to another site on the same macromolecular complex to exert the GABA facilitatory action, that is GABA-like action. That is, the barbiturate site appears to be located on alpha or beta subunit because presence of only these subunits are sufficient for their response. So presence of gamma subunit is not necessary as in case with benzodiazepines. So these also enhance benzodiazepine binding to its receptors. So at higher concentrations, barbiturates directly increases the chloride conductance, GABA mimetic action. It will act like GABA. So contrast benzodiazepines which have the only GABA facilitatory action. So they inhibit calcium dependence release of neurotransmitters. In addition, they depress glutamate induced neuronal depolarization through AMPA receptors, that is a type of excitatory amino acid receptors. So at very high concentrations, barbiturates depress voltage sensitive sodium and potassium channels as well as their dose dependent effect on multiple neuronal targets appear to confer the ability to produce any grade of CNS depressions. So benzodiazepines act preferentially on the midbrain ascending reticular formation, so which maintains the wakefulness, and on the limbic system. So muscle relaxation is produced by primary medullary site of action, and ataxia, that is absence of movement, may be due to action on the cerebellum. So this is the receptor site. So now you cannot understand it clearly. So when we coming to the next topic, benzodiazepine, so this will be explained to you more action. Okay. So here you can have the GABA A receptors where GABA will found to attach. Okay. So where the barbiturate will act on the alpha or beta site. So this will alter the chloride ion conductance. Okay. Then next is the other system. So due in respiration system, so is dispersed by the relative higher doses, neurogenic hypercapnic, that is increase in carbon dioxide level, and hypoxic drives to respiratory center and depressed in succession. So barbiturate do not have selective antitussive action. Antitussive means to reduce the coughing sensation. Next is the CVS. Hypnotic doses of the barbiturates will produce a slight decrease in blood pressure and heart rate. Toxic doses will produce a marked fall in blood pressure due to vasomotor center depression, ganglionic blockage, and direct decrease in cardiac contractility. Reflex tachycardia will also can occur, though pressure reflex is depressed. So however, the dose producing cardiac arrest is about 3 times larger than causing the respiratory failure. So skeletal muscle, hypnotic doses have a little effect, but anesthetic doses reduces muscle contraction by acting on the neuromuscular junction. Smooth muscles, tone and motility of the bowel is decreased slightly by hypnotic doses, more profoundly during intoxication, that is during poisoning. So action on the bronchial, uteric vesicles and uterine muscles are not significant. Kidney, barbiturates tend to reduce the urine flow by decreasing the blood pressure and increasing the ADH release. Oliguria attends barbiturate intoxication. Next is the uses. So this type of drugs are used in epilepsy. Then thiopental is used in anesthesia. So nowadays barbiturates are not preferred as a hypnotic and anxiolytic. They have been superseded, that is they have been succeeded by benzodiazepines. So they are occasionally employed as adjuvant in psychosomatic disorders. So side effects, hangover, it is a common after use of barbiturates as a hypnotic. So on repeated use, they accumulate in the body, produces tolerance and dependence. So mental confusion, impaired performance and traffic accidents can also occur. Idiosyncrasy, it is an occasional in patient of barbiturate produce excitement, may produce excitement, it is idiosyncrasy. So this is more common in elderly. Okay, so certain type of anemia due to porphyria can also susceptible. So hypersensitivity, so it can induce rashes, swelling of eyelids, lips, etc. It is more common in atopic individuals. So tolerance and dependence, both cellular and pharmacokinetics. Tolerance develops on repeated use. So on again and again if you are using, so our body will become tolerant to that drug. So however, fatal doses is not markedly increased. So addicts may present with acute barbiturate intoxication. So there is a partial cross tolerance with the CNS depressants. Okay. So psychologically as well as physical dependence occurs and barbiturates have a considerable abuse liability. So you can misuse the drug. So this is one of the major disadvantage of this type of drug. So withdrawal symptoms are excitement, hallucinations, delirium, convulsion, death can be reported. So next is the acute barbiturate poisoning. So what is mean? If you take it too much of barbiturate, so it is called as acute barbiturate poisoning. So mostly it is suicidal, sometimes it may be accidental. It is infrequently encountered now due to unavailability. That is, nowadays barbiturates are unavailable. So however, the principal treatment of to apply the any CNS depressants poisoning. So manifestations are due to excessive CNS depression. Patients will be flabby, that is they will be as such lying, and comatose with shallow, that is reduced and fail in respiration. There will be fall in blood pressure, cardiovascular collapse, renal shutdown, and pulmonary complications will be reported. Treatment, so first is main aim is gastric lavage, so that further absorption of drug will be stopped. Okay, so it will leave a suspension of activated charcoal in the stomach to prevent absorption of the drug from intestine. Next is the supportive measures. So the patient's airway, assisted respiration, oxygen maintenance, and blood volume of fluid infusion, and use of vasopressors like dopamine may be preferred for the renal vasodilation action. Next is the alkaline diuresis with sodium bicarbonate with or without mannitol. It is helpful in case of long acting barbiturates. Okay, next hemodialysis or hemoperfusion can be performed at a highly effective removing long acting as well as short acting barbiturates. Okay, so for the barbiturates there is no effective antidotes. Antidotes means a particular drug for particular treatment in poisoning. So in case of barbiturates, no effective antidotes are available. Okay, so with this we can stop this today. So remaining we can see in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.